Welcome, everyone, to Season 3, Episode 14 of the Cosmere Reads. Yay!
Yay!
Episode
And there was
78?
maybe. I don't have it pulled up right now.
Okay.
Sure.
I'm trying to keep a track. I feel like I'm close.
It is Episode 79.
79, okay, wow.
I think, yeah, 37.
It's unbelievable to me that we have done this 79 times. I mean,
Almost.
It's insane. Oh, no. As far as I'm concerned, even if we stopped right now, this would still count.
Yeah, no, if the Little Reads, which you did for 5 years, we were at episode 233.
Yeah.
And if you average like 2 hours, let's say average 2 hours an episode,
yeah,
give or take, because some episodes are like 4 hours long, especially the early ones, early days of the Little Reads. Yeah, that's what? Yeah, 400.
A lot. That's like 800 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. If you're saying 200 and some, if you're saying 200 and some episodes, well, that's well, it's 4 hours. But if you're like, let's just say 3 hours, then it's like 600 hours, right?
Yeah. So you could like it took you a long time to get through.
Yes, it would
be a little bit of time.
And we don't edit down on these podcasts.
No, sure don't.
No. We keep it 100% real.
Well, we're here tonight, so that's an accomplishment in itself.
We did it.
Because last night was a super late night for all of us.
Yep.
That episode will come out next Monday on the Cosmere Chronicles. We were all guest hosts on there last night. We had a ton of fun. At least I had fun.
Yeah.
Trying to derail their podcast the entire time.
Yeah, we brought some energy.
We behaved.
We got them off topic a few times. You did behave.
We behaved
I thought
so well.
we were very behaved, guys. I thought we did. I mean, we had every opportunity to go off the rails, and we did not.
There was lots of wiggle room there. Like
we
lots
did wiggle.
of like silences
we wiggled
that we could have wiggled in there. And, but we were good.
Mm-hmm.
We're good. So we'll post it on Discord when that is released, so you guys can go listen to us on there. They're talking about the hero.
Appreciate them hosting us, by the way. Really appreciate that, guys. Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah.
But definitely the time zone thing is weird when it's not late for them, but it's late for
us. Right. So they're Minnesota, right?
They're Minnesota, yeah.
Oh, so they're just like an hour behind, right?
Yeah, an hour behind.
Yeah, but I don't know. I felt like they were like hyped. They were like live and ready to go. It's like, oh, y'all are used to this time zone thing. It's like, you're not.
Like, and I'm used to staying up late because I typically do, but I'm not used to like having to have my brain completely on.
There's a difference about being on, though.
At that time.
Yeah.
Right. So you're on.
Yeah.
Versus like you just like mindlessly, well, not mindlessly, but in the routine of doing work.
Yeah.
Right?
Like normally I'm like quiet. I'm listening to a book. I'm drawing. Like having to like be social. As an introvert, I'm like, oh, this is taking extra energy. But it was fine. It was a lot of fun. I just felt it.
Yep.
Yeah. And I have a new background, as you guys can tell. No, it's not a green screen.
So
this
pretty.
This is my kitchen.
I want you to take us on a plant tour.
A plant tour? I don't know what plant. That's a spider plant.
I actually have a lot of plants in my office too. It's just you can't see them. They're nowhere on camera or anything.
It's a fig.
Big one.
Nice.
Fig. And then fiddle leaf back there? Okay.
No, the big one.
All I have is an empty pot up there where the plant keeps dying.
The plant reads.
I have a succulent here.
Keep putting plants in there.
I get a cactus. I get a cactus. You know.
Oh, maybe I should do something like that.
I get a cactus, but I just don't. I need more space in my office. Yeah, but I do like the plants to have. Oh, it has some rosemary over here. Basically, most of my plants I try to have because I want to actually use the stuff in my.
Oh, that's outside.
I bet sitting beside that rosemary smells so good.
No, not as much as you think. I mean, it's like the mint, for example. The mint smells great, but you have to be right up on it. Unfortunately.
Like, I bet if you like did this with the rosemary, like strip it would smell good.
Well, it's the same thing with the mint. Now, I love, if I think about it, I will take like one of the mint leaves and do this on my hands. My hands smell amazing for the rest of the day, but you have to do that.
I love it.
The show of Mike is not good.
Your mic is a little muffled.
Unfortunately, I think you're picking up a lot of background noise or something.
I know what's going on. Hold on. Give me a second.
Yeah, it's not as clear as typically is.
How about now?
Oh, much better.
It was my camera mic that had defaulted to.
Oh, yeah. The crappy stuff on their laptops defaulted.
The crappy
default
hold
on.
Yeah, so thanks for pointing that out, String Flame.
Moon out.
What'd you say, Tree?
I have to call DK Moon out on my plant survival skills because typically, like when I had my own apartment in my own house, I had a crap ton of plants and they all lived for a very long time. But moving back in here with my grandparents, anytime I go away on vacation or something, my grandma decides to water my plants. She kills everything. Nothing can survive in this house. When I moved in here, I had that whole bookshelf covered in plants and this table.
Oh, wow.
So it is not me. And I've just stopped putting plants into this house.
Wait, you said
they're just going to die.
Overwatering the plants? Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Like, she just completely drowns the crap out of them.
She's going to get like me.
She just doesn't have the green thumb, you know?
I built a solar-powered irrigation system for my plants out front, and then I brought it inside and recreated the same thing. And I'm going to take that solar-powered irrigation system and put it in the back. And I love the fact it's like at 7 o'clock in the morning, it just goes off for 2 minutes, and then it turns off, and it has a reservoir and the whole deal. Yeah, it's because I just won't remember. So I just have this whole automated thing.
I will redeem myself with the plants one day.
Hold on. The world's first vertical strawberry farm in Richmond. Let me see. There was an article about the other day. It was really cool. So it's 30 feet tall, and it's towers that have that so they're growing vertically all these different strawberries.
Right.
In one acre of land, they can grow 4 million pounds of strawberries.
Was it tomatoes? I think was the first thing where it was like really took off was like vertical grown tomatoes.
Yeah,
and that was like
in Richmond,
Virginia, saves so much space. And think about how much. I mean, think about how unused vertical space is. You know, I mean,
here it is. Hold on, let me see. I can share my screen. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I've seen those before. I really like them. Smart.
And they look cool, actually. Any vertically grown thing looks really, really cool. It reminds me of like vineyards and stuff.
Here you go. Mm-hmm. Boom. So there's that's nice. Richmond. Yeah. All the grow lights. Just 30 feet of strawberries. Lots of strawberries.
The strawberries.
4 million pounds of strawberries in 1 acre, which is insane amount.
Yep.
Yeah. So cool. Yeah. Trying to solve all of the world's problems, right? Vertically grown plants. And they're probably going to charge more for it because it's boutique and special because it's it's novelty.
Yeah. It's like, remember back when heirloom tomatoes was like hot, and they charged like an arm and a freaking leg for heirloom tomatoes for like the longest time, and now it's like nobody even says it anymore. You know, nobody says I need heirloom.
Yeah, I think it's because like wasn't it like they still had the seeds in them? Mm-hmm. So you could just grow your own after that.
Yeah,
I don't know. I feel like this. I feel like it's the equivalent of saying pedigree tomatoes or something. It's like whatever.
You gotta put your pinky up when you say it.
Oh, that's right. Exactly. And make sure your pinky nail is actually clean when you do that. Don't hold up a dirty pinky nail.
Eating my heirloom tomatoes.
The judgment.
Your little fork.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Little fork. That's right.
Well, are you guys ready to talk about some Stormlight Archive?
Oh, I guess. Those are good.
Yeah, I was gonna say, did I have anything cool to share? I really wish I had like news or something going on.
Oh yeah, no. I'm just feeling sick. That's my news today.
Yeah,
I'm just tired, but I'm ready to. But not as tired as Kaladin was after this night. So let's talk about it.
Look at this segue. Look at this segue. I know.
After this,
look at that guy. Look at the guy on that segue. Nice. All right.
So Kaladin comes to. He's regained consciousness, and he finds himself tied upside down by his ankles outside of the barrack. Syl comes up to him and tells him that Larenroll was executed, but Gaz was left in position, and Kaladin's like, that makes sense.
Yeah, I cheered inside on that one.
Yeah. I
cheered. I was like,
yeah.
Because this guy was smug on smug, and I was like, hooray.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You got what you deserve, because he had machinations and he got taken out. He was like, oh, we're going to pin all this on Kaladin. And guess who ended up getting executed? Mr. Bright Eyes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But Kaladin's pretty much executed
me
too.
out then.
Yeah. Kaladin's pretty much being executed too, because he's being left out for the high storm, which is a death sentence. Supposed to be.
For anyone else.
No one survives, but like let the Stormfather judge him. You basically, like taking the full brunt of the most worst hurricane you could ever imagine that picks up boulders and throws them. The chances of you surviving are pretty much zero in this world. But he's gonna hang out there and see what happens, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's 0.01% survival.
Yeah. But yeah, so let's Stormfather judge him. Still leaves and comes back with Rock, Tef, and Moesh. They kind of have this goodbye farewell with him. They tell Kaladin that, that it was pretty much a disaster. The side tear from Bridge 4, that how many people died, from the other bridge
200.
crews.
I think he said 200 people died.
Mm-hmm.
And what was the thing that Still was saying about soldiers being killed? I'm trying to remember. She was recounting about the soldiers that got killed, and I can't remember.
Well, they had to leave. Like, so many bridgemen got killed, but they had to leave a bunch of bridges behind too. So it's not just loss of men, but like loss of equipment. Like it was
no.
Bad,
but she said something about soldiers. She said something about soldiers. Like they did. Oh my gosh, guys, keep me honest here. I don't remember what it was. It was something about soldiers that either got killed or executed, or something happened with soldiers. And my mind has gone blank. So a
lot of them died because of the failed charge.
Right. Okay, it might just be that. Okay.
Just chaos, right?
It was just chaos. Yeah. It was a cluster all around.
Yeah.
200 bridgemen though. That's
jeez. Yeah, this is like would you say, Alan, 11 bridges got left behind? Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like that.
Jeez.
Now we're gonna have to refill all those.
Yep.
With the bridges left behind, so it's like there's nothing to fill, right? You're just going in like with a much lighter load, essentially.
Right? DK Moon, you are correct. It was a mess.
Oh yeah,
it was
all day
a mess. Like
all day long.
And so they come out to bid farewell. They tell Kaladin that even after he's gone, they're going to keep his traditions. They're still going to do the camp night fires and still try to keep what little life they have left happy, and keep Kaladin's tradition going. His memory will live on. He made an impression on them, and it's kind of this somber, like, goodbye.
And he's like, I'll be back in November. I'll be back in November. I'll be back in November.
He's just like, listen, when you guys wake up tomorrow, just come outside. I'll be all right.
He's like, after the storm, you come here and watch. I'll open my eyes. You'll see.
Yeah.
You'll see.
I'll be all right.
And they're like, sure, you will.
Okay, bud.
He's like, yeah, I'll survive.
Yeah, he's like Kendrick. He gonna be all right.
Yeah,
sure he will.
They want to believe him, but it's kind of hard to.
Oh, sure, yeah, but they're placating him, but they don't really believe it. They're like, oh yeah, we'll see you tomorrow, dude. Dap up, and then he's like, he ain't gonna make it.
Well, Tef goes and gives him a dun sphere as a luck charm. Says, it's always bad to go into a high storm without a sphere.
And it's one of his, right? Because all the other ones were taken by Gaz, but
right, yeah, all the others.
Kaladin's.
Yeah, it's one of Kaladin's. Yeah, it's just one dun sphere. There's no storm light in it, but of course, the storm high storm itself fills them up.
Should replenish it, right?
Right.
Yeah. Should.
And the chapter ends with the storm wall coming.
When it says storm wall, by the way, all I can think of is you see those pictures of the shelf cloud where it's like an edge, and it's like this creepy looking thing. Yeah. That's all I can imagine is a shelf cloud.
That's what I pictured too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No,
or like that, but like the size of a giant tornado. Like how like the tornadoes actually you could see them pick pieces of the earth up and buildings and stuff like that. I figured it's kind of that coming up and the storm coming down, just like a giant.
Let me see if I can find a picture of a white squall. There's a movie called White Squall, which is kind of not that great of.
Yeah, it's such a movie.
But there's not many pictures of white squalls, especially mythical, but they actually do exist. Just giant storm walls that hit you at sea.
Oh no, I definitely think it's true.
On the ocean,
but
though, right?
What did you say
again?
Those happen on the ocean, though, right? Like just
in the Great Lakes. No, they've happened in the Great Lakes.
Oh, just any body of water. Okay.
Oh, I didn't
any
know.
Large, yeah,
it's gotta be huge, though, right?
Yeah, large body of water. It's basically just a really, really strong like front that comes through. That's just so strong that it kicks up so much white water that it's just
displaces so much water. Yeah,
that's just a giant wave coming at you. It's not like not even really a wave. It's just white water because it's just kicked up like a wall of water that's just racing towards you. So you need a lot of water for it to happen. And
so it's gonna be deep area. It's basically tsunami action. I mean,
basically, but because it's with the storm, it's not actually a wave, so it's not going to hit shore and like wipe out a shore. That's why you don't see it. It's just kicked up, water. So anyway, this is what the high storm reminds me of: is a giant wall of water racing towards you, which is fun. Yeah. Have you ever been outside when you have like those spring storms come through, like where there's just quick line, usually where there's tornadoes and stuff?
Anybody that's been in Florida knows, because it rains every day in Florida, and about the middle of the day, and you can see it coming, and it's like a thunderstorm, and it might only last like an hour, 2 hours, practically every day though, and you can see the actual line of the storm coming in.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. DK, Tef coming up like, hey, yo, I'm just gonna die anyway. Can you charge this for me? Can you plug this in for me? Like
sitting there with an iPhone. Hey, charge this up for me.
Can you charge it up for me anyway? It reminds me of like this.
Let me charge it.
It reminds you like you're on the respirator and someone comes in. I need to charge my phone. Unplugs the respirator. Plugs their phone. Let me charge this real fast. You'll be fine.
Wasn't that a Seinfeld? That was a Seinfeld episode.
I think it was.
When Kramer was worried about getting unplugged, and Elaine wanted to plug in something else, and so she unplugged his machine, and it was when he was when he said he wanted to have the death contract or whatever. Fun
times. Anyway, so that's how we end this chapter, the storm wall hitting. Anything else in this chapter before we move to chapter 35?
I got them.
Okay. I didn't say the epigraph because it was one quick line. So it's 34 epigraph was, I walked from Abamar to Etheru.
I don't remember that.
That's
obviously
all
how much it meant to me. So
that's all it was.
Okay.
And then, though many wish that Etheru to be built in Elethina, sorry, these are old. It was obvious that it could not be, and so it was that we asked for it to be placed westward, in the place nearest to honor. That's the epigraph. So these epigraphs they're not death rattles. They're not. Yeah, it's just it's not a letter either. I'm not.
I still miss the obituagraphs.
The obituagraphs.
I'm sure they'll come back.
They might come back. Anyway. Chapter 35, a light by which to see. We'll start with Kaladin as the storm wall hits, and he is being flung around like a little rag doll.
Does he say something about pennant flag? I was trying to capture what he actually said, but I feel like he said the word pennant flag, like especially that moment where he like kind of grabs the ring and stuff, and he's like getting thrown around. I think it says he's like, and all I can think of was like a like a National League pennant or something like that.
Which is crazy if you think about that, because his feet are attached to the ring, and this storm, if it's making him like a flag, he's been lifted up and he's being tossed around like this,
Yeah.
And then he grabs it.
Visuals?
So then he's
the crazy flailing arm man.
Here.
He is definitely a wacky wailing inflatable.
Wacky inflatable arm flailing tube, Kaladin.
Inflatable tube man, something. Whatever that line is. From
his shirt rips to shreds. I mean, it's just like, and he goes to scream, and when he screams, all the cold water like shoots into his mouth. He clutches the sphere for his life, like his life depends on it. And Syl's there by his side. And it's almost like and he says like the pigs are like almost trying to part the water, like sitting there like trying to move the water aside for him. but he's not sure if he's imagining it or if it's really happening. Like he's so in and out of like barely hanging on to consciousness from the pain and just being ripped by a million little cuts from all the debris, and there's like boulders smashing around him, and he's being flung and banged everywhere and stretched and pulled. And
he's trying to hold on to the
description
ring, so
about
he's
that
not
thing
getting pulled apart from his arms and his feet.
Right?
It's not.
Yeah, he's getting lacerated, and then it talks about being able to pick up these boulders, and I was like, "Holy jeez!" Picking up boulders.
Yep,
that's a storm.
Mm-hmm. She tells him that, to snatch the ring, and, he's able to get the ring for a little bit, and hold on for a tiny bit, but eventually loses that too and goes back to flapping in the wind. Always clutching the sphere though, never let go of the sphere.
And by the way, he's been hanging upside down for hours already.
Right. But
so
now he's
not like
upright.
Yeah, now he's upright.
I mean, but he's already in a bad shape. Remember, he's counted the number of ribs that are bruised and broken. I mean, he's got all these injuries and stuff. And then on top of all that, now the storm is attacking, just like beating him up like relentlessly. So
and remember, he was beaten unconscious.
State.
He was beaten unconscious before he actually
Yep.
So he was
they had to make sure he didn't die. But
right.
they beat the snot out of him, though.
And he even comments is like, they should have beat me that much. I might have actually vouched for Lamroll. He would have survived. He didn't beat the crap out of me.
In my head, he chuckled a little bit when
he did.
Phil told him that Lamroll got executed. Well, I guess you shouldn't have. You shouldn't have beat the crap out of me then.
Yup.
I would have vouched for him, dumbass.
Yeah. Hey, that's a positive. Upside down sucks. Yeah, it's silver linings. At least you're being flung upright.
Yeah, true. At least the blood is being evenly distributed around your body now, and not just pulling into your brain.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Eventually, his grip grows numb, and he gets flung back around. And then, right towards the end, he gets a brief vision of like this enormous face in the storm.
Everything goes completely calm for a second, which I was like, "What the actual what is going on here?" And I was like, "Okay, he's gone into a dream state." I was like, he's probably like been knocked out or something.
Yeah.
Interesting. I pictured it as like the eye of the storm, when it goes to the middle and it's like really calm.
Yeah.
I thought that for a second too. And I was like, I don't know what the composition of the storms are enough to know if that's something that regularly happens, that they have that situation.
That's just what I thought.
And he looks down, sees his sphere is now growing super brightly, and then he falls unconscious because, well, he's been through a lot. All right, he's been through a lot.
Right, because he sees I call it the Cheshire Cat face.
Yeah,
it's like this. There's this thing. It's a huge, and it is described as a face that's so freaking wide, but somehow or another he comprehends the face, and then it grins briefly, and then after that, he's out.
Yeah, I actually. Let me see if I can find a picture of it.
That'd be great, because I know what my mind's eye imagines it looks like.
I can do this real fast. Share this screen. Let's present. Share screen. Boom. Share.
Boom. Share. Ooh, that's cool. So you don't think that was really there, Londo? You think that was a dream?
Oh no, I definitely think. Okay, there's something looking out for him. We don't know what.
More than just a dream.
Yeah, so I feel like this kind of goes back. Of course, just having recorded the podcast yesterday, it reminds me of ruin and preservation. Like there's like these other presence out there. Because obviously, look, this guy avoiding death on these bridge runs is not of his own doing. I mean, there's only so much luck in the world, so something else is interceding on his behalf. So I really feel like whatever this thing is like, it's like it's saying kind of, I have a purpose for you. That kind of thing. That's what I feel like is happening right now. But I don't know what it is.
Okay.
But that's my
interesting. Okay.
What do you got on that tree? I mean,
Well,
I'm not sure if
when
you
I read
remember
this
from
the first time,
before.
like I just like immediately thought, oh, that's the Stormfather,
Mm-hmm.
right?
And
Like
that's where I kind of want to
like,
go.
the Stormfather
Yeah.
will judge you, and Stormfather
Yeah.
this, and blah blah blah. And I was like, oh well, there he
Right.
is.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I wanted to go there, but for some reason I don't know what it is. I'm not ready to jump to that conclusion yet.
Fair.
I feel like
it's an easy like thing to go to, right? Which is why
it's too easy to connect it. And I was
that
like,
was my first thought.
Yeah, it's too easy to make that connection. But I'm like, I feel like it's more complex than that.
Okay.
Kind of like the ruin preservation thing that happened in Mistborn. It's a lot more complexity. To it,
I just had another thought.
Go ahead. What you
It
got?
could be like a giant spren.
Gotta catch them all, spread them on.
Like the spren that lives in that
Checks out.
in Axis' place that comes under the water.
No, the giant water spren. Yeah, this is one of the
water
legendary
snake
ones.
spren?
This is a legendary
Could be a
one.
storm spren.
Yeah, this is legendary.
Hey, could be.
Dude, this is this is like Mewtwo level.
Of course, when he's in the storm itself and he's like getting all beaten around, that's when the Shiza Sprint shows up. Which is where my name came up this week.
It's just a cloud. It's
Just a cloud. Yeah, maybe Kaladin is just seeing like bunnies and faces and puppies in the clouds. I don't know.
Puppies in the clouds. There's the line for. If we had a line for every podcast episode, that's the line for this episode.
Yeah,
puppies in the clouds.
And giant angry faces.
Puppies in the clouds.
It's the first thing I can think about. Okay.
Pop song.
I'm trying to find the one where it's a really the dark humor, which I love dark humor, but it's like there's a like cartoons like Cyanide and Happiness type cartoon. I don't know if you ever seen Cyanide and Happiness.
Oh, I love Cyanide and Happiness.
It might actually be from it, but like it's like a guy and a girl and they're in a field and they're looking at clouds. I'm like, that one looks like an elephant. That one looks like a giraffe. That one looks like a mushroom, and they vaporize.
And they all die.
Explosion.
Yep.
That one looks like a giant mushroom.
It's so dark and happy all at the same time. Cyanide and Happiness.
Cyanide and Happiness. Dark humor.
Name checks out.
Cyanide and Happiness is great. It's great. Great comic strip if you like dark humor. So he falls unconscious. Next scene we have is from Tef. Next point of view.
Which threw me, by the way, when I listened to the audiobook, and just like all of a sudden it's just like just changes perspective, and I was like, wait, what? What?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
It's a little off-putting.
Yeah.
It took me a second, then I was like, oh, I'm there now. I get it.
Yeah. Or not off-putting, jarring.
Jarring is definitely the word. Yes.
So after the high storm subsides, Rock goes and like a little kid on Christmas runs out of the barracks to go see, and Tef's just kind of like dragging his feet, like, man, I don't even want to look up and see what this looks like afterwards. And Rock has full faith, and Tef's even thinking like, how can this guy have this much faith? Like, he's dead. Like, there's no way. Like, it's a high storm. He keeps on thinking, I want to believe that Kaladin survived, but and sure enough, they get there, and he forces himself to look up, and he sees the body, and he's like, "Yep, that's a dead body."
Yep,
because that is torn apart, flayed, peeled. There's that. He says, "I've seen enough death to know that that's dead." And as he's looking up, kind of confirm himself, Kaladin's eyes snap open, and all the
which reminds me of that scene. It reminded me of that scene in Aliens when they're like see the lady who's like encased in the slime and stuff, and then the guy holds her head up, and he's like, and she opens her eyes like that, like really suddenly,
right?
Yeah,
that's exactly what I thought of in that moment. I was like, aliens. And then she's like, help me, chest burster.
Yeah. So they immediately go cutting him down. Even like the soldiers and everything watching are like in shock. Everyone's in shock.
Oh yeah. Nobody survives this thing.
Yeah, and Rock yells, help him get down. He's alive. And we end with this chapter with Tef looking down and seeing the sphere, Kaladin dropping the sphere, and it's done. And Tef's just like, it was just in a high storm. How is there no stormlight in this thing?
Right.
Dun, dun, dun.
Where did the energy go? Of course, my theories went into Cal, but yay, that's just my theory.
Yeah.
So I feel like, that's the reason why it's so critical that he was given that stone.
Are you dead, man?
Nah, not dead.
Not dead yet.
Or yeah, man.
I'm not dead yet.
Isn't the correct answer? Yeah, man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. You need to watch. Why can't I think of the bobsled team?
Cool
Runnings.
Cool Runnings.
Yeah.
Jamaican bobsled team.
Again, I know enough about it, but I haven't seen it.
I mean, if they want to make a comedy version of this, they need to have Kaladin played by Mr. Chow from The Hangover. I'm like, but did you die?
You mean Ken Jeong?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. He's so hilarious. I love him.
Yeah. I asked Kaladin to do one thing: charge the damn sphere. You can't do this one thing right.
You can't
I asked
even
you to do one thing. You couldn't even do that right.
Get out of here. That's. So, any thoughts from all this? It's a fun 2 chapters.
What else did I remember from this? Easy up storm. I'm trying to remember. There was something significant about this chapter I was going to say, and now I cannot remember. Sorry, guys.
That's all right. If it comes to
I'm
you.
tired, and the headache is still real.
Well, it might
Comes
come
to
back to you later.
Yeah, if it does, I will pipe in with my notes.
Okay. You ready for chapter 36? The lesson.
See. The
All
lesson.
right.
Oh, this is another good one.
Taking the
The
Dawn
lesson,
Shard.
and I was like waiting to hear what the lesson was.
Yeah. Here's the epigraph.
And it has like layers on layers. If you think about what that
is.
means, the lesson, right?
So we get an interesting epigraph here. Taking the Dawn Shard, known to bind any creature, voidish or mortal, he crawled up the steps crafted for the heralds, 10 strides tall apiece, toward the grand temple above.
These epigraphs have seemed to have no connection whatsoever for, I want to feel like, the last 20 chapters, maybe 15. Let's say 15 chapters conservatively.
Yeah,
I feel like they're non sequiturs. Sometimes they kind of sound like they kind of mesh into the same, and then other times it seems like they're so disjointed.
Yeah.
So I've almost, to be dead honest with y'all, I've almost checked out on the epigraph because I'm like,
yeah,
this is just a bunch of nonsensical stuff. I was like, even if I was to hear them all back to back, I don't feel like I'd be able to discern anything from them.
Yeah.
I feel the same. I barely pay attention to them.
Okay,
But
so I'm glad it's
Dawn
not just me.
is familiar.
Because this is what chapter
36 is where we're at now. Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, 34, 35. Yeah, so 36.
So maybe after the end of this part, I'll tell you what these are from. Because all this part, it's all from the same source.
Okay.
So,
Yeah,
sure.
'cause
I
I've
mean,
heard
yeah,
Dawn
I would
Shard.
appreciate knowing that because right now I'm just I'm super checked out on
it's not really a spoiler where they're from, I don't think. Well,
up to you,
maybe it
Alan.
is.
I mean, look, if it was Mistborn, I'd be like, nope, spoilers, right? That I get.
Well, so it's so disjointed because of what it is. So what these are so you know how our scholar friend, because I don't even know if it really explains this so you know our scholar friend Yasna, right? These are notations in her notebook. All these epigraphs are just notations. So they all have different topics and they're all talking about different things. And they're just like little side margin notations. And when you dig deeper, you can find out where they're from and things like that. But I'm not going to tell you that because that's more spoiler. So that's more spoilery, but that's what they all are. That's why they're not really conjoined. Like they don't make sense per se because they're all like these little notations.
Interesting.
So because we're going through a lot.
Building.
Yeah, so which is kind of cool, like going back after reading all the Stormlight and reading all these notations, because then they make a lot more sense individually, if that makes sense. Because then you're like, oh, okay.
Now when you're saying just for this part of the book,
right? So the first part was
the obituagraphs, or not
obituagraphs were not her, and then the next part was a letter, And now
because those are too far, they're too long ago to have been something that she would have recorded.
Yeah.
Well, at least I would have thought.
So yeah, it's there's the letter and then this.
All
right.
So yeah.
We may or may not have. Oh, never mind. That might be too leading. Never mind. Rewind.
Haha, just kidding.
Just kidding.
So yeah. Anyway,
JK,
so
JK.
we're with Shalon, and she's now a bathing attendant. Gets to see Yasin all naked.
I want this bath.
You want this bath?
Yeah, because she's like floating on it like the Dead Sea. She's just like.
It's just like a giant hot tub. It sounds so nice.
Mm-hmm.
Does sound nice. If you're into that.
I'm
not a bath person. I like soaking in my own like dirt and filth.
Oh, I love it. It's the best.
Dude, you don't like hot tubs?
No.
I try not to think about it like soaking in my own dirt, but
I don't know. Like
and hot tubs even worse because now it's other people's filth.
I used to competitively swim, and there's something about like doing a hard workout and then going and immediately going to the hot tub after you're done with your workout and just sitting there letting your muscles like melt away after a workout. Like,
so when I was surfing back in Florida, and if I had the opportunity, absolutely loved it. I mean, but now it's I've gotten older and just like not feeling it.
Oh wait,
people that have hot tubs on their like back porches and stuff, and they're like, hey, we're gonna have a hot tub party. And I'm like, well, you enjoy that.
Yeah, I love a hot tub. I love a bath.
Wait, I have this. I have this little video clip for Wheel of Time, but it fits here.
1, 2, 3. Splish splash, I was taking a bath. Long about a Saturday night.
Yeah.
Forgot I had that clip because that's for Wheel of Time, but it works here too. So we're taking a bath.
You know what? We have a jetted tub in our bathroom.
I've never used mine.
Never sat in, not even once.
Not used mine. Not used mine.
Never.
I have one too. Never used it.
I've never sat in. I use the shower stall exclusively. I have never been in that bathtub.
Yep.
Not even one time.
It's
it's like all cool and blah blah blah. Wife loves it. Turn it on.
Really
the jets and the thing.
To be like, I'm bathing in my own dirt. Like, you're not covered in dirt.
I know.
Yeah, but the jetted tub takes so much to clean. I'm like, I'm not going to clean that.
So water. I feel like this is a boy thing. This is a thing that boys have in their head. They're like, if I have a bath, I'm sitting in my own dirt. I'm like, you're not. So
I don't take a bath in our jetted tub because my cat's litter box is like next to it. So he will.
Okay, that's gross.
He will use it and then jump into the bath when like it's dry. But then there's just like,
oh wow,
litter box is not in the bathtub, but he always jumps. There's always
but there's something about a litter box though. The smell of a litter box, you cannot. I don't care how much you clean it out. It's
you gotta put it somewhere,
and I can see it. Like my wife, when she goes in the bathroom and she does the jetted tub and she turns the bathroom into her spa experience, she's got like incense and candles lit and all this kind of stuff. And it really does smell like a spa experience. We even have the whole like little jasmine drops that we experienced when we were in Thailand and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. So it really smells. I think a litter box would immediately take her out of the moment if it was anywhere near that bathroom. So
it's over on one side and like where the shower and the toilet are, and the other side, like it's not anywhere near that.
Yeah, but litter boxes have that smell. And it's not the poop; it's just the litter itself.
The litter itself.
The litter.
Kitty litter it's got this smell,
Yeah, but you
gotta have a bad smell, but it's a unique smell.
Don't give a cat a litter box; it's not a pretty thing. Let me tell you. There will be piss and shit everywhere, all over your house.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, you don't want that. Because that's what they'll do. My cat does that; it gets mad. So I definitely have to keep a litter box somewhere for him. So
first time I rented a room in a house back when I was a young man and didn't have an apartment, and the lady kept the litter box in my bathroom, and I hated it because she was not cleaning it out like she should have been, and I hated it. I'd go in there and take my shower and stuff, and I was like, "Please clean this litter box." It's like, this is your cat.
I just don't have a cat. There you go. That's one way on it. Problem solved.
There's the way to solve that problem. No cats.
Yeah. No cats. Anyway, So Yep. Anyway, so on to Shalon in the lesson. So Yasna's taking a bath, and she's still trying to steal that soul caster. But she's having
she was getting really close too.
But she's having second thoughts too.
But she was so close. She was hyping herself up, and she was like so ready to do that Indiana Jones swap, like Temple of Doom. She's like, not Temple of Doom, Raiders of the Lost Ark. She's like, oh, way in it. She's like, and then she just pulled back in the last second. I can't do this.
Yeah,
she was ready.
Yep.
Yeah, which is I think what you said last time, Alando. You're like, I don't think she's gonna do it.
Nope. Yeah. And this part right here checked out. I was like, yep, she's not gonna do it.
Which, based on later events, it's a really good thing she didn't do it right now.
Yeah, but she needed something to tip the scales to really make her feel like it was the best decision. She needed something to give her the moral out to say, yes, I should go ahead and do this. It's for the greater good. The greater good. What's that from? Greater Good. That's from Shaun of the Dead. Hot Fuzz. The greater good. The greater good. They all say that. Like, they kill all the people in their neighborhood. Anyway. Yeah, but she was definitely on the fence the whole time, and then events happen. So, all right. Sorry, Alan.
So,
the recount. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Yasna, starts quizzing Shalon a little about histories and things like that. It's like, yeah, history's boring. Let's talk about something else like now. Like, let's talk about philosophy. And then they have a little argument. They have a little argument about philosophy. I was like, isn't that the same thing? Like hands-on. It's like, you need something, a hands-on lesson. Like, so, it's like, what, nature? Oh, that'd be fun. Let's do nature. And it's like, no, philosophy. And she's like, how's that hands-on? It's like history. I was like, no, history's in the past. Philosophy's now. Let me go show you.
She is so wide-eyed and bushy-tailed here. Oh, let's go do it.
Yeah. We're going on a field trip.
Yeah. So, now, what was she wearing on her feet? Because she's talking about she feels like all the stones and stuff. I was like, is she out here in like
slippers,
soft feet or something? Oh, it's like bedroom slippers. Right. They don't have like a thick sole on them.
Yeah.
Okay. I was trying to figure that part out. I was a little confused. I was like, why is she wearing like real shoes? Okay, she's got bedroom slippers on.
So they get dressed in their finest and decide to go out on night of the town to East St. Louis.
This guy. I want so much shade.
Dude, East St. Louis is rough. I've been there.
Museum in
the redlining there was really bad. You can tell that's a definitely redlining. That's the historical impact on that is rough. Yeah.
I mean, I could have said Compton or something like that, but Compton's kind of had a little resurgence, so it's not as bad as it used to be.
Yeah, but man, St. Louis though, that you can tell that area still is dealing with the fallout from redlining.
Yes.
From like pre-60s issues and stuff. I mean, it is so obvious because like there's a whole segment of the city that is like completely homogenous, and everybody else on the other side. And I was like, okay. I guess I'm the fly in the buttermilk here.
I drove through it all by myself in my little orange Ontario license plate car.
Nice.
But I mean, I didn't die.
I mean, it's not like dangerous or anything. It's just, but it just looks really. You see one area that looks really nice.
Yeah.
New stuff, all that kind of thing, and then you see another area that looks completely neglected.
Yeah.
And it's sad.
I don't know if there's shade. It's like kind of like going to Hampton.
I don't think Hampton's got that kind of demarcation. I mean, unless you want to say Victoria Boulevard, maybe.
Well, yeah, Victoria. That's what I'm saying. You can be on Chesapeake Avenue with all the nice houses on the water, and like literally 1 block away, Shaw Road, where it's like falling apart, crack houses everywhere.
Oh, what about if you go on like on Hampton? You go along the waterfront, and then you turn around the corner, and now you're downtown Newport News and Roanoke, on Roanoke Avenue. It is insane. It's like Ferraris, nice houses on the waterfront. Projects. You turn the corner and you hear a gunshot. I'm like, oh.
Oh my.
Yeah, there's a place like that.
Yeah, there's a place like that. It's right
like
around the
literally.
Where we live.
I mean, I can guarantee you we could drive there right now, and what I just described is not hyperbole. That is like true. Guarantee it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So that's where
sorry.
we're going. Field trip.
Yes, exactly. Field trip. We're gonna go out there and Trey, I need you to wear your best bedroom slippers.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna walk down the streets at 25th and J, and
18th Street, baby. That's what we gotta do.
18th
Street.
18th,
16th. Let's go.
18th and Wickham. Get on there and
yeah. There
get
you
deep
go.
in the thick of it.
Hey, by the way, and I can say this because I lived on that street for a while, so I know what it's like out there.
I mean, I went to school at Heritage, which is not that far down. I mean, well, I guess Heritage is what, 16?
It's kind of near there.
It's
Yeah,
30s.
I mean-
That's 30s. It's 30s.
Yeah, it's 30s, but yeah, I lived off of 16th Street, so
Because
Yeah.
Heritage is like what, corner of Marshall and Wickham. Yeah, it's down there.
right.
It's not as nice.
Man, we be talking about some Newport News lore. I feel like we just lose like all the audience when we start
yeah.
talking Newport News.
Newport
Now. We
News
gotta stop
lore.
doing that. We gotta stop doing that. We talk too much about Newport News. People are like, man, I'm never coming there.
I'm never going. And bad news ain't that bad.
It's not
really
that
not.
bad.
It's
We just
really
talk
not
about
bad.
like one small area, like
Yeah,
you know,
it's actually
it is what it
a pretty nice town. There's some really bad
Yeah.
areas, but it's actually got a lot better than
like
it was.
any metropolitan city, though. It's got
It's
good
gotten a whole
areas,
lot
it's got
better
bad
than it was. Yeah, it got a whole lot better than it was when we were growing up. When we were growing up, it was
And
really
funny enough, you know, and I will say this last thing about Newport News. So we have a lot of waterfront property because we're a really long city. We're like
Mhm.
10, 11 miles long, maybe
And 1
more
mile
than
wide.
that. Yeah, we're like 1 mile wide. We're like a little sliver, and it's all this waterfront property. And then at the southwest end of the city
Southeast.
is all this waterfront property that is all low income, high crime. And they're like,
Yeah.
but it's all waterfront property. We need to do something about this. This is like if you were to like clean up the crime and stuff, you could really make a lot of money off the real estate taxes in this area. So that's the reason why they're slowly kind of rejuvenating it and rehabilitating the area, etc.
Yeah.
Which makes all kinds of sense.
Yep.
Here's that.
Well, they're walking down this dangerous part of town, and it's been known to have a lot of thieves that are murdering people left and right, and they're just gonna go walk around. And
Well, that and they said they keep getting away with it.
mhm.
Like they're like
Yeah.
murdering people, and it's like nobody's doing anything about it. Like there's no police going and chasing these
No,
criminals or whatever. It's just like they're
Drop
turning
the
them.
ball, Taravangian.
Thank you.
God. Yeah.
Yeah. He needs to step up.
They even say Taravangian's not the greatest king in the world. He's kind of, yeah.
He's not a guy with a bold fist.
Mm-mm.
He's got a limp slap. Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. But yeah, so eventually they get to, I guess, like an alleyway or something like that, and they realize they're surrounded. And Shalon is super scared. But Yasna's like, no, we're good. Check this out. Fireballs.
No, she turns that
She
Joker
stuck
into
her
the Human
hand
Torch.
in a man
Yeah, she just lights this guy on fire.
and turned him into fire.
She's like, you are now part of the Fantastic Four. Human Torch.
Yeah.
He just goes like instant flame on,
Mhm.
and then disappears,
Barbecue.
leaves the image on the retina.
Mhm.
Yes. And then Yasna turns to Shalon and goes, I am Batman.
Yeah, she does.
She's like, I'll take care of
But
this
then she
myself."
goes from touching somebody, boom, touching somebody, kills him, to not touching anybody.
to Sheen
and I'm like-
Lightning.
So she turns the second dude into Crystal. She's just like,
Mhm.
you are now Iceman. Crystal.
Yeah.
It's a new addition to the art gallery or museum, or where are they?
Just a crystal dude in the
One of
middle of
those
the
two.
freaking alley now. He's
Yep.
Yeah.
just permanent crystal man.
And then she
We'll call him Crystal Light.
uses lightning to kill the last two. And Shalon's just really confused. She's like, I thought you had to touch someone for it to work, or touch it to something. Like,
Yeah.
this doesn't make any sense. Yeah.
And she hits them both at the same time, running
Creepy.
opposite directions. She's like, boom.
Yeah.
Just both.
So she's
It's
Spider-Man
like-
too, but with lightning.
and then,
And
and then like
Shalon's
the Looney
horrified
Tunes
by
thing,
this.
their clothes just fall to the ground. That's all I could think of was Looney Tunes, where it's like somebody disappears and it's like the clothes are left behind, and the clothes just like fall.
It's
they're
Obi-Wan
like
Kenobi
instant-
getting struck down by Darth Vader. Duh.
Yep, there it is. Just clothes just fall to the ground. It's just like
Yeah, clothes just fall to the ground.
yeah.
Exactly. So and this
challenge. She is shook.
Shooketh. She's shooketh.
She got like one scream out, and then she was like trying to, wallpaper, just like stand up against the wall kind of thing, and she just does not know what to do with herself right now. She's just like, why? Poor thing.
Yeah, and she decides
that philosophy lesson.
Yeah, yeah. And here's the lesson. And Shalon is anything from all this before we get back to the rooms?
I'm trying to think what else about this. I just know Shalon she's in such disbelief, but she does not think about the emotions she's been through, because she was extremely scared. Then they get in a situation, she's like, I'm going to get extremely murdered. And then she's like, I see extreme violence and murdering going on from the person I'm with, the whole thing is just...
She's just pretty much like...
Where are you? I'm in a glass case of emotion.
That's perfect. Thank you, sir. I appreciate that. Well done. Glass case of emotion.
I got so many things for this, like it's not gonna
How about that?
That's Yasna.
Catch me outside.
If Yasna
How about that?
Catch her outside, I would be terrified.
Yasna,
I thought you were gonna do emotional damage. I was dead set on you thinking you were gonna do the emotional damage thing.
Emotional damage.
Yeah, she's definitely going through. She's going through some emotional damage right now.
So whose side are you on, Londo? Do you think Shalon is right, or do you think Yasna was in the right?
That's the purpose of philosophy. There's no such thing as right and wrong.
Ooh.
See, it's all a construct.
Morally ambiguous.
Right, and that's the reason why she took her out there. I got the purpose of the lesson because she puts it out there. And she's like, there is no such thing as saying, oh, well, I'm in the right, they're in the wrong, et cetera, et cetera. She's like, okay, I saved lives, possibly, but that's all a construct on what you think could have happened. What if one of those 4 people was only there for the first time and would have like Shalon was saying, and then was like, what if, Flame On dude got killed, they ran away, and they're like, I'm never doing this ish again, because I just got bullied into it by Leader Man. I mean, it's not the moral line is not that black and white. So that's the purpose of philosophy. So you really think about things in a way that just gets you outside of your typical way of thinking, where it's like, oh well, there's no hard and fast rule that you can follow in these situations.
Lessons where it's a bit tough in the locals, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
They got a new statue out of it. Like, what else?
Yeah, they got a new statue. Exactly, man. And she was right, because she's like, oh, well, they were going to rob us, kill us, probably rape us, all the things, and we prevented that. And the possibility they would do it to somebody else. And they probably should be punished because they're probably the ones that have done the other murders in the area. Again,
look at String Flame spitting some philosophy in here. A mind decides what is what, nature decides what is thus, but treating people as you is just.
Look at this, man.
What's that a quote from?
Actually, that last part of that does sound familiar.
Yeah.
Treating people as you is just. Gosh, that does sound familiar. What do I know that from? String Flame, tell me you wrote that, and I'll be like, oh, man.
Me.
Spring Flame says
nice.
me.
Okay, but I feel like I've heard that line
String
before.
Flame.
String Flame.
Nice.
Philosopher String Flame.
Philosopher String Flame. There it is. That's the next Harry Potter book, actually. I don't know if you knew that.
String Flame?
Yeah. Philosopher String Flame. There's a Philosopher's Stone, and it comes all the way back around.
To the
Philosopher String Flame. Yes.
Gotcha.
That's book 9.
Book 9. Cool.
Yeah, well,
Who knows
Shalon
where her
definitely
plot.
used this as anger and enough of a push to
Justification.
do what she did.
She needed it.
Justification. Yeah.
Yeah. Because
Justified.
it was not. It's not enough for her to know that she's doing this for her family and the state of ruin that they're in.
But no one deserves to use a soul caster like this.
But she needed something to push her over the edge to provide the justification she needed to be like, hey, now I can do this thing because you are morally ambiguous. And that's what she needed. She needed that doubt so that way she could say, well, this is not a I'm not taking advantage of hers of, this is now not a victimless crime kind of situation. This is like, no, this is somebody who deserves it. So.
Oh, I missed it. String Flame wrote, "Who knows where I pull what?" And I was gonna type, "That's what she said." And then DK said something.
Oh, nice. Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah, DK said, "In the darkness, a single string flame."
Yeah, which is good, but I can't say that's what she said now because it's just defeats.
Yeah.
That's okay. You guys all know that I meant it, and it was gonna be perfect.
And one left in the cave. Are we going to Plato's cave? Is that what we're going to do? We're going to do Plato's cave. The story of the cave. Anyway, so that is philosophy. Yeah. So anything else? So yeah, we steal the soulcaster. We replace it with the broken one. Shalon makes that choice.
Yep.
And
Swiper, no swiping.
What do you think of this choice? What do you think the implications of this will be? Dangerous?
Okay, can I go?
Of what?
Of the swipe of the switcheroo.
Oh, the switcheroo.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't go first. I mean, I don't really remember, but what happens. But my thought was like, gems broke on Yasna's soul caster.
Right.
So I was like, how is it gonna be the same like replica?
But hers was broken too. Shalon's that she
like in the same exact way, because when she was doing her lightnings, they like shattered.
Yeah, but do you think she really paid attention? It just happened, so I don't know if she really locked it in.
That's just my first thought. I just thought I'd throw that in there.
I thought the same thing though too. I didn't think the same thing, but they're both damaged now, so
Okay.
But like you said, not the same way though either. So I was like, But then it made me think, well, now that it's damaged, how do we know that it's in a good enough state where it's going to provide the effects that they hope? Her soulcaster. So I'm like, you might have actually damaged it in a way that might have them in the same situation they were in before.
That's true.
So that's the thing I kept thinking about. I was like, are you really swapping something that's functional for something that was non-functional, or are you just now swapping a non-functional thing with a non-functional thing? Because we see no evidence after this usage that it's actually in a usable state.
That's a good point.
So that was the thing I was thinking the whole time. I was like, you might have just swapped out a bum carrot for another bum carrot.
Yeah. So what now? She's got to hang around and see if Yasna knows how to fix the one that's broken and then steal it again. Because what if
Yasna fixes the one that was broken? And then she's like, no, I gotta swap it back.
Damn it.
I gotta get my old and busted and swap it with the new hotness now. I don't know.
The DK with a double twist. What if Yasna found the broken one, swapped it, knowing that Shalon was going to make the switch?
Okay, so I've been thinking this the whole time. I hate the fact you just took my logic, my theory time. Because I was
if I know that you know that we know that you know.
What if Yasna the whole time knew that this was about to go down? Because she's been dropping like little hints the whole time. Like she kind of knows that like something's going down. She's like, there's some shady shit going down. And she keeps like hinting. She's like, everything's as black and white as you think, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, what if Yasna actually did the swap before she got to the point where she could do the swap? Because it seems like Yasna has this like omniscience. Like even when she's like got the eyes closed and stuff, the stuff she says makes it sound like it's all double meaning. all the phrasing and stuff she says, it's like it's got double meaning, double purpose, and I'm like,
I feel like she was setting Shalon up to steal it a little bit there, like especially since she said the thing like, "Has the Ardent asked you to steal my soulcaster yet?" Like it was a test, and I wonder what would have happened if, you know, let's say this swap hadn't happened before, and there was only one working soulcaster that belonged to Yasna and one broken that belonged to Shalon. If Shalon had stolen the one that works, and then Yasna put them in this position right after she set up the potential thievery option, right? If we're being relaxed, the eyes closed, it's just right there. What would have happened?
So, and that's the reason I feel like this whole philosophy lesson was not about the people she killed. It was about the purpose of stealing the soulcaster. And I feel like she's like, your ultimate purpose was to do this thing with this, you know, ulterior motive of doing something justly for your family. Do the ends justify the means? And she was like, I feel like this is her on another level saying, hey, you've got these, like, you know, what you think are morally righteous grounds to do this, but really, you know, what are you setting yourself up for? I mean, for you saving your people, what about what you're taken away from? Because I just used the soulcaster to like save the king's grandchild, you know, a little while ago. It's like now you've taken that capability from me when you take the soulcaster from me. You know, that's what I was thinking was happening here. So I think there was some chess maneuvering happening here. That
I agree, there definitely was, but I feel like it was even a more darker setup. Like if Shalon had stolen it, do you think Yasna would have let the thugs kill Shalon?
Nope. Because imparting a lesson is more useful than just basically punishing somebody. And I feel like that she wants to, because if she teaches her a lesson and she takes that lesson and she, you know, carries that forward into the world where it's just like, oh, I just punished you, and now there's the end of that statement. There's no legacy there. And I really think that Yasna really believes that Shalon has potential.
Yeah.
True potential. She would have taken her on if she didn't think that. She wouldn't bring somebody in. I mean, she's a very smart woman, obviously. Oh, yeah. She also sees through all the machinations of, you know, everybody trying to come and persuade her and try to get her not to be, you know, what do they call it? You know, believe in religion. What do they call her? A
heretic?
Heretic, thank you. You know, and so I feel like she sees through all of that. I think she sees through Shalon so much, and I was like, yeah, she's playing chess. She's definitely playing chess. Yeah.
So if Shalon did steal the thing at the moment, that seemed very set up for her to do it. Do you think Yasna would have had a backup plan in that situation of going to the thugs?
I don't think it makes a difference because she could repair either soulcaster.
Yeah, but like in that moment, like she would have had the broken one. Do you think she could fix it that fast, or do you think she had a backup plan that didn't involve the soulcasters?
I think she had the ability.
Full circle. Growth requires the right amount of water. That's true. Truth grandma knows.
She doesn't know though.
She doesn't know.
Loves so much. She's such a woman. Like she gives everything so much love. You know, that's just who she is as a person.
So much.
But for
she's got that smother love.
Sometimes it's a little too much.
Smother love.
All right. Are we ready for the last chapter for tonight? Chapter 37.
What's that Looney Tunes character who kept? This is like an old Looney Tunes character, and it was like a big bear or something, and it would hug like the animals it would get, and it would kill them, would smother them and kill them. And I'm trying to remember what it was. And he was like, I will hug him and love him and squeeze him and he's dead.
Call him George. Yeah.
I will call him George. He was that dude, yeah. And so there was this one episode and he just kept killing all of his pets.
That's my grandma.
And then he showed like all these like squeezed to death squirrels and cats and whatever it was. I gotta look this up.
Looney Tunes was dark. It was.
Looney Tunes back in the day was definitely, people forget. Looney Tunes was all adult. It was crazy adult. It was not for kiddos.
Yeah, and she
And then
always
of course
feels
they
really
had the
bad
band
about it.
episode.
She always feels really bad about the plants, but it's just a thing. It's just a reality. So we don't have them anymore. We have one actually that lives on the like dining room table that's survived for like 2 years, which is kind of a miracle.
What kind of plant is it?
It's an anthurium. It has like these red flowers that come out that have like a little stamen thing.
Okay.
They're just like a one-sided plant, kind of like a lily, but more flat and they kind of look like plastic almost.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
But it's not plastic, it's real. We've seen it grow.
Yeah.
You got to put the preface out there. It's not a fake plant.
I know everything I said would lead you to believe that it might not be a real plant, but no.
Right. This is not the Matrix. It's real.
It's
it
real.
grows.
I promise.
Yep.
All right. Chapter 37, Sides, 5.5 years ago. Back in time. Flashback. Cal is helping his mother cook as Tian's showing off a new stone he found. He found a new rock. Yay!
Yay!
And Kaladin immediately leaves when he sees the carriage from Roshon come to pick his father up. He insists to come along. And Laren's surprised that Cal, about this, but lets him join. And they go to meet. So they're having a meeting with about the spheres that Liren got from the former City Lord Whistler.
2 cartoon references, by the way. The first cartoon reference is every time they say anything about the rock stuff, all I think of is the Charlie Brown Halloween special. I got a blah, I got a blah, I got a rock.
I got it.
And then the second thing is this whole scene where they're going up to the house. All I can think of is like Bart and Homer going to Mr. Burns' house. That's all I can think of the whole time.
Yeah.
They go to his house. And,
it tracks. It tracks.
They get chased out by the Doberman Pinschers, but
yeah. But right. Liren's trying to talk, and then Cal just keeps interrupting. Liren's like, Cal.
And what was the stuff with the mom earlier? I'm trying to remember. There was something. What was it that she was talking about? Oh my goodness!
I don't have the book in front of me.
Shoot, I can't remember what it was. Man, my mind is really going to mush.
I just remember her telling him to clean the knob roots or whatever it was that they were eating.
Right. No, that's right. They were talking about the sprint, and that's the reason why I have the name.
Sprint, yeah.
It was about the sprint. It's like, where does sprint exist? And she's like, it exists in this and this and this. And he's like, oh, there's a poo sprint.
Yeah,
I think
a dung
he says, or
sprint.
something like that. And that's the reason why I put Shy as a sprint is my name.
Yeah.
Today. Yeah, but she's like all about where the sprint are.
Gotta
and
catch
like, sprint
them all.
And he's like, they're sprinting me then? And she's like, no, you have a soul.
Yeah.
So doesn't replace the soul. And I feel like we got a little bit more insight to Spren based on what she said, which I thought was important to bring up.
Yeah.
Because we talk about Spren a lot on this podcast, obviously.
Yes. Spren them on.
Yeah.
Important.
At least from a religious view, we got a view of the Spren.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
So Liren and Cal sit down to eat with Roshon, but Liren refuses to eat. They start to argue about the spheres, and Liren just stands up to him. He's like, no, you can't do shit to me. In fact, if you try to do more, I'll just leave. I'll go somewhere else. And Roshon's like, well, I'll just put out an order that you're a wanted man. I'm a surgeon. That won't work. And he's like, well, I'll just do this. He goes, that won't work either.
He's like, and then I'll put you on trial. He's like, I'll win.
No,
he's like, you got no proof. You've got nothing. You've got no witnesses. You got nothing.
Yeah, you got nothing. He says, and actually, I got Whistler's men now vouch for me that he told them to leave the room when we were doing the contract. So,
right,
yeah, we're good. And eventually, Kaladin, Roshon says, fine, I'll take 9/10 of it and you can keep the rest. And Kaladin starts to and then Laren's like, boy, just wait outside. I'll finish this by myself. And Kaladin kind of gets huffy about it. But
yeah, he speaks up a little too much for a young boy.
For a young boy. So Kaladin goes into the kitchen.
Nothing but the Godfather in his moments. So he speaks up too much. And it's like, I imagine Vito Corleone going,
Yeah. And he goes into the kitchen, and
I love them
Laurel.
too much.
Yeah,
They
Laurel.
need to shut up when they need to be listening. You know?
Yeah.
You know?
But yeah, after this, Cal goes to the kitchen, meets and Laurel and Rashon's son, was it Reeler or whatever? He's there, and he's treating Kaladin like the Kaladin.
Oh, really? Relier, I think.
Relier, yeah, Relier. He's treating like a servant.
You try and talk to him like a servant.
Yeah, and Laurel's playing along, which.
Oh my gosh, that was heartbreaking.
Mm-hmm.
Heartbreaking that she turned her back on him entirely.
Yeah.
Those damn light eyes.
Yep.
Can't trust them.
Oh man. She's like, I'm in that class now. And then she's like dyed her hair.
Black
all the things, changing her appearance and stuff. He was like, this is the girl you used to jump around with frogs with and all this kind of stuff. And now she's out here acting all like she high blood.
Mm-hmm. Actually, I just had a thought about that whole hair dyeing thing that I didn't think about when I was reading it. But like, I was like, why would she dye her hair from blonde to black? And then I was thinking about her being like mixed, I guess, and like they wanted her to just have black, so she looked like she was just from one bloodline or whatever. Because then they talk about that
darker hair is more. What
is it?
Yeah, it's more
Adolin
pure.
Has black hair and blonde hair, and there's other people that have black and blonde hair, like chunks of both colors.
Yeah, right? but then you're kind of considered like mixed though.
Right, so that's what I was thinking. But why else would she do that unless she had black and blonde hair? And
try to look like again, we go
for whatever reason.
It's like a Harry Potter reference. She's trying to be all pure blood, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I guess. Yep. I don't know.
And Kellen even thinks
people that dye their hair blonde, they do it's the same thing.
Exactly,
like,
right? So that's why I was like, if she has all blonde hair, why does it matter if it's black? Like,
well, because I think black is more revered. It's more revered to have. If I remember that from the first chapters, it was like having dark hair but light eyes is a big deal. Whereas like having like blonde hair and light eyes is not, it's not like the Aryan stuff here.
Yeah,
like
I didn't remember that detail.
But I remember that very vaguely.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, cool. Yeah, it kind of just stood out as odd to me. So I'm glad that you remembered that.
Yeah.
And Kaladin misremembering that though.
And Kaladin here is like, maybe it's just because Roshan's fallen so far and he can't wait to meet like a real honorable light eyes as he's heard in stories, the good ones.
Yeah.
And now he wants to be a surgeon so he can go off and
Oh, he's got the wrong ideas about why he wants to go off. I mean, all of it is so misguided. I'm like, oh no, this is like, I want to go off so that way I can show somebody that I'm better than them. That is the wrong reason to do anything. So, but it sounds like something a kid would say, though.
Oh yeah, totally.
100%.
I want to go off and be a baseball player so that way I can show up little Ricky down the way.
Yeah.
No, be a baseball player because you want to be a baseball player, not because you want to show somebody up.
Yep. Yeah. So anything for this before we get to the ride home?
Nah.
Okay. So on the way home, Liren tells Cal that he made Rishon believe that he would probably bend on the topic, but did not give it up yet. And he says, "Yeah, I'm just playing him like a fiddle, but that's all part of the act. I gotta do this, this dog and pony show." And Callan realizes it's a tactic made them to focus, on rather than providing the truth, and also realizes at this point where his father admits that they might not actually have been given to him.
Yeah, he can see it in his eyes. He can see the guilt in his face. And the thing is, though, this is like, to me, I feel like this is the most telegraphed thing. I think it was pretty obvious because I was like, somebody giving away all of their spheres.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't track. I mean, he's a surgeon. He's doing all the good things, blah, blah, blah. Can I see him getting a portion? Sure. But the amount of spheres he was given, it never quite tracked with me.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew something was up, but I didn't know what it was. But
now Laurel got the rest of the inheritance, and she seems to be doing pretty good for herself. So this seems like a pretty small amount of spirit. It's huge for the village people,
absolutely.
But compared to what Laurel has, like it still seems pretty insignificant.
Yeah, he did better. See, he couldn't steal it though, and then keep it like completely off the books.
Mm-hmm.
That was the problem. So he had to say, "Oh, they were gifted to me."
Yeah,
and then that brought all the attention, and now nobody believes him.
All right.
Yeah, the whole thing is just it was sus. It was sus from the beginning.
It was.
And then the thing that got me though is finding out that the wife was in on it too. I was like,
yeah, well, they probably made the decision together, right?
I guess they did.
They seem like they have a good relationship, so it makes sense that they would talk through something big like that.
And did it for the greater good. The greater good. Their son.
Good.
Yeah. And then Kaladin decides he wants to go by Kaladin versus Cal now because it's a man's name.
Because he's a grown up now.
Because I'm a grown up now.
I'm a man now.
I'm a big kid now.
I'm not a boy. I'm a man.
No, you see this peach fuzz?
Anyways,
man style.
And that's kind of how we end this. That's how we end this chapters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good chapters.
Good chapters.
I feel like
Great
we learned
chapters.
a lot.
There is.
There was
Still
some
waiting to hear-
answers and even more questions.
Hey, look, I'm just still looking for the tea and death scene.
I
I mean,
refreshed it.
it's got to come soon, pretty soon. I mean, Kaladin obviously does not go away and become a surgeon because there's that much time here between this time and how long is this? It's like 5.5 years ago.
5 years. Yeah.
When this one, so it's not enough time.
Yeah.
Because we know where Kaladin was at in his youth, in the military, in war. He didn't start that way like one day before. So he obviously been doing it for a few years. That means he never, if he did go off, he went off very briefly, but I doubt he went away at all.
Yeah. Yeah, because I think we met him, the first flashback was 3 years ago, I think, when we saw him with Amaram's army.
Right.
I think it was 3. Right.
It's got to be like 3. Let's just say between 3 and 4 years, right?
Yeah.
So, and he had been in the army for a while because he was revered and he was very capable.
Yeah.
That doesn't come like instantly. That's training. So I think he never went away.
Yeah. I don't know. I think my timelines are also off because how long was he a slave for? Like just a year, right? Like bouncing around with different.
Yeah, I was a year a slave.
Postings.
Yeah.
A year.
Okay.
Okay.
So before,
before.
Maybe he wasn't a slave that long. Maybe he was a slave for only a few months, but it might have only been. I don't know how long it was. Actually, I do know how long he'd been in the army, but we'll get to that.
I don't know.
We'll get to that. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, definitely get to that. But either way it goes, though, I feel like
the
tea and death is going to happen soon. I'm not sure how far away from this, but it's going to happen soon.
Yeah,
because he's already in the army, already referring to Tien.
Yeah.
So it happened before he went into the army. So I'm like, oh, okay, so things about to go down.
Yeah. So anything else in these chapters?
No, it's good stuff. But again, my takeaway is I feel stronger in my convictions that Yasna knows a lot more of what's going on around her than she's letting on right now.
Is that your favorite character for the week?
Favorite character?
Oh, she's my favorite character of the week.
100%.
Every time she shows up, she's my favorite.
Yeah, Yasna's that real. I like Yasna a lot.
Yeah.
Because
she's smart and she does have, machinations and she's sneaky and I just love her.
Okay, so I'm gonna steal Tree's favorite character typically and say Syl.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Mainly because of the cold thing. That really. Why does she feel cold?
I don't know. You said you were only going to pick Syl once.
This is my once.
No, you already picked her.
Did I? I picked her one time before.
But I think you should
really?
go back
I did?
on your picking
I think you should go back on
because,
picking because Syl's amazing.
Because she does obviously she can feel cold now and she could do
now she can feel cold. I'm like this thing's evolving on a different level, and I'm like
she evolves.
I feel like she's
different characters. You can
she
pick her.
is cool. And
she's about nice. She's about to bridge forms. She's about to become Super Saiyan Syl, and I'm just trying to figure out why. I mean, she went from being this amorphous thing to having a shape to being visible to now feeling cold. She impacted the soldiers, made them. That was the thing about the soldiers. She made soldiers trip and did some stuff to them. She's kind of evolving.
She learned about sarcasm.
Yes,
sarcasm now.
Sarcasm.
Man.
She's a little trickster.
She is definitely a trickster. Syl is like, she's the conundrum that I can't figure out. I feel like I'm starting to figure everybody else out, but Syl, I'm like, what is happening here, and why is it not happening with other Spren? If there's so many Spren, because I feel like there's 1,000 Spren. I mean, if there's like Shiza Spren, that means there's like Spren for everything. Why is Syl the only one we see doing this whole evolution and coming to create like a not symbiotic relationship, but like the type of simpatico relationship? I'm just, I got all the questions about that, and I like her. I mean, she's innocent, and she's got feelings. She gets angry. She gets, scared. All the things. Yeah. She cares a lot.
That we were talking to Kaladin's mom about Spren, and Tien was like, "Do we have Spren?" Like, no, you have a soul. But Syl feels very much like Kaladin, a Kaladin thing.
Kaladin soul Spren.
Like it's only Kaladin thing. I don't know, because we haven't met anyone else like that yet. But
right. And what was she initially? She was like a wind Spren. I don't even know what Spren she was
initially Kaladin thought she was a wind Spren.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought I remember that. But obviously, it's got nothing to do with wind now. I mean, when does wind even come up around her nowadays? It's like, never shows up.
It was just interesting that we talked about that, and like obviously we still don't really know. But
I love also how she morphs into different things to move around. Like she's at a full body, and then when she's body cow, when he's hanging up there, she's like, "I want to go get these people," and she turns into a rock and falls down into the leaves to fly away right before it just hits the ground. Like, just like flashes into different things. It reminds me of kind of like, you ever seen like an octopus, like a mimic octopus, do that kind of stuff, like where they'll like morph and change into different things as they're moving along from like different.
Or you see like an octopus like morph itself so that way it can actually fit inside of a bottle.
Yeah.
It's like it just does whatever it needs to do to get into a space,
Yeah.
I had this whole discussion with about octopus the other day, and how the actual multiple plural octopus is actually octopodes, because it's from like Latin verbiage or something, instead of ever calling them octopi.
Octopi would be Greek, and oct is from Latin, so it would be octopode or octopuses.
Octopodes. Yeah. Octopode.
Right.
But octopi is not correct. Technically.
No, it's not.
Listen to me. I have a cool fun fact for once.
Yeah. There you go.
Yay.
Nice trade. Hooray.
Yay. My first, the more you know.
Love it.
Perfect. All right. So you have Syl, you have Yasna. I guess I have to pick someone too. I will pick Teft.
Oh, good one.
Okay.
Yeah, Teft.
Teft has come around. Teft has come around. I like it. Teft is not who he's not what he used to be.
Yeah. So next week we'll do 4 chapters again. 4. Okay. See, guys, it's not just 2. I'll do 4. And the chapter titles are Investiture.
Investiture.
Investiture. Envisager. Investiture.
Oh, that's something completely different. I thought you investiture.
Which is probably a Shallan chapter, because they're always named weird things.
Sure. Burned into her.
Burned. Okay.
Yep.
Into her.
Eyes of red and blue. And the last one is of Alds in Milp.
Of Olds?
Alds.
And what?
ALDS in Milp. MILP. Milp.
In Ald in Milp.
Of Alds. Of Alds in Milp.
I thought you were saying Ald like Auld Lang Syne.
Yeah, Auld Lang Syne. That's what
I thought you said MILF, and I was like, what?
Not MILF. Alds, like ALDS, not Olds. Alds.
No MILFs.
Milp.
Not
Milp.
this week.
Milp. Like
no
MILF.
I don't know. No American Pie. Got it.
No American Pie.
All right.
Interesting. Cool.
We'll see what that all means.
Mm-hmm.
I got nothing right now.
Yeah.
I agree with you, Trio. I think that the Investiture Is that the way you pronounced it, Alan?
Investiture.
It does sound like a something where another Shalon made up word.
Okay.
Yeah. Like arrogance.
Yeah.
Yep. We shall see.
Interesting. All right. Well, how we can be found is at thecosmereads.com. It's a cool website. We can find links to all sorts of cool stuff like Patreon and our merchandise and Discord. Along with social
my
media.
Scott Stank shirt came in, by the way.
Oh, it did. Awesome.
It did. Yes.
How's it look?
I have to unveil it at some point in time.
Okay.
Disgusting.
I don't know when, but I'll unveil it.
Is it as wonderful and beautiful as you hoped it would be?
I have never put it on, so I got it and I have not put it on. I just hung it up in the closet. So I was like,
I'm wearing my talking head shirt. You may ask yourself.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. How did I get here?
I'm wearing Canada.
Where does this highway go?
Oh,
Canada.
my hand. Oh my god.
Oh, I'm wearing this shirt. What shirt are you wearing? What
she showed her safe hand.
I just flashed the camera.
Oh my goodness!
We're
How dare you show that
demonetized.
bare skin?
We are demonetized. She just showed her safe hand.
But what's the shirt though?
It's Canada.
Just says Canada.
Okay, got it. Okay,
it's my cozy PJ shirt because I'm not feeling well today.
My shirt is from my friend's defunct karaoke bar, which is no longer open, that they owned in Virginia Beach.
I thought we were signing off, so I just...
It says Amplitude, but on the back, I gotta show the back real quick.
Yeah,
so it says, wait, I have to get up out of the chair, because it says, get a room, because it was actually individual rooms, karaoke rooms, blah, 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 get a room.
Okay.
Anyway, here's that. But.
Awesome. All right.
All right.
Well, yep, find us all those places, like, subscribe, all the good stuff, comment, and
cool.
Do the cool stuff for the
Everybody forget that you saw my safe hand.
Yeah, just forget it. You need the mid-block.
Alan, can you go back and blur that?
Yeah, I will in editing. I'll bleep. I'll actually add in a little beep because I'll audio.
Right.
You just put like a picture of another like cartoon hand.
Yeah.
No.
I'm not on top of that.
Do the only hands logo over top. We're going.
Nice.
I need sleep. That's what's
all right. I'm going to bed. All right. Good night, guys.
Right.
See you guys next week.
Night.
Good night, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you for watching the Cosmere Reads.
Gosh dang, gosh dang fresh. Gosh dang, gosh dang fresh.